Chapter 36. Then the people of the land took Jehoahaz the son of Josiah, and made him king in the place of his father in Jerusalem. 23 years old was Jehoahaz when he began to reign, and for 3 months he reigned in Jerusalem. However, the king of Egypt removed him in Jerusalem, and fined the land 100 silver talents and a gold talent. Furthermore, the king of Egypt made Eliakim his brother king over Judah and Jerusalem, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. But his brother Jehoahaz Necho took and brought to Egypt. 25 years old was Jehoiakim when he began to reign, and for 11 years he reigned in Jerusalem, and he continued to do what was bad in the eyes of Jehovah his God. Against him Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon came up, that he might bind him with 2 fetters of copper to carry him off to Babylon. And some of the utensils of the house of Jehovah Nebuchadnezzar brought to Babylon, and then put them in his palace in Babylon. As for the rest of the affairs of Jehoiakim and his detestable things that he did, and what was to be found against him, there they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. And Jehoiakim his son began to reign in place of him. 18 years old was Jehoiakim when he began to reign, and for 3 months and 10 days he reigned in Jerusalem. And he continued to do what was bad in Jehovah's eyes. And at the return of the year, King Nebuchadnezzar sent and proceeded to bring him to Babylon with desirable articles of the house of Jehovah. Further, he made Zedekiah, his father's brother, king over Judah and Jerusalem. 21 years old was Zedekiah when he began to reign, and for 11 years he reigned in Jerusalem, and he continued to do what was bad in the eyes of Jehovah his God. He did not humble himself on account of Jeremiah the prophet at the order of Jehovah. And even against King Nebuchadnezzar he rebelled, who had made him swear by God, and he kept stiffening his neck and hardening his heart, so as not to return to Jehovah the God of Israel. Even all the chiefs of the priests and the people themselves committed unfaithfulness on a large scale, according to all the detestable things of the nations, so that they defiled the house of Jehovah which he had sanctified in Jerusalem. And Jehovah the God of their forefathers kept sending against them by means of his messengers, sending again and again, because he felt compassion for his people and for his dwelling. But they were continually making jest at the messengers of the true God, and despising his words, and mocking at his prophets, until the rage of Jehovah came up against his people, until there was no healing. So he brought up against them the king of the Chaldeans, who proceeded to kill their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary. Neither did he feel compassion for young man or virgin, old or decrepit. Everything he gave into his hand, and all the utensils, great and small, of the house of the true God, and the treasures of the house of Jehovah, and the treasures of the king and of his princes, everything he brought to Babylon. And he proceeded to burn the house of the true God, and pull down the wall of Jerusalem, and all its dwelling towers they burned with fire, and also all its desirable articles, so as to cause ruin. Furthermore, he carried off those remaining from the sword captive to Babylon, and they came to be servants to him and his sons until the royalty of Persia began to reign, to fulfill Jehovah's word by the mouth of Jeremiah, until the land had paid off its Sabbaths. All the days of lying desolated it kept Sabbath, to fulfill 70 years. And in the first year of Cyrus the king of Persia, that Jehovah's word by the mouth of Jeremiah might be accomplished, Jehovah roused the spirit of Cyrus the king of Persia, so that he caused a cry to pass through all his kingdom, and also in writing, saying, "This is what Cyrus the king of Persia has said. All the kingdoms of the earth Jehovah the God of the heavens has given me, and he himself has commissioned me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever there is among you of all his people, Jehovah his God be with him. So let him go up,